Arsenal send another statement to everybody else in the Premier League that we are going absolutely nowhere. We beat Chelsea today 2-1 at the Emirates. That makes it 3 wins out of our 4 matchups versus Chelsea, 11 wins in a row versus Chelsea under Mikel Arteta. What a record that is. London stays red. We don't even have to mention that too often anymore. Everybody knows that. And at this moment in time, Arsenal go back 5 points clear at the top of the Premier League table. You guys know how important this game was. You guys know how important that North London derby was. You guys know how important that game versus Chelsea was. These were 2 potential banana skins or banana peels or whatever you want to call them, where we could have slipped up, but no, we kept on. We keep the good times rolling. We keep going and going and going and going like an Energizer Bunny. You already know what it is. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, today's game was the game from the corner spot. Corners really, set pieces really dictated how this game went. From corners from Chelsea side to corners from our side, we got our 2 goals from William Saliba and Timber. Of course, Gabriel actually assisting one of them also. So we had 3 defenders contributing to the goals today. The attack, boy, it wasn't a game for the attack. I'll be honest there. Chelsea, they made it tough. I'll give it up to Chelsea. They made it tough. Reece James' set-piece deliveries were impressive, but Timber gets us the match winner from the set-piece. This was exactly what we needed. We just needed to find a way to win. And Chelsea went down to 10 men, which helped us close out the game. Because when Pedro Neto went out, I just thought, you know what, from there, we're going to go on to win. But there were some nervy moments at the end. But before we go any further, do you guys remember, lead up into this game, we were hearing Robert Sanchez is better than Raya. That's what I was hearing. I don't want to hear anything about Robert Sanchez being better than David Raya ever again. If I hear that nonsense from Don, if I hear that nonsense from anybody, I'm going to be annoyed. I don't want to hear Robert Sanchez better than Raya ever again. And you know who I originally heard this from Ozzy. So I thought, you know what? Let me play what I heard from Ozzy, because this is what I heard from Ozzy. Look at this.
Sanchez or Raya? Raya? Bob. Really?
Yeah.
You're joking, right?
No. I don't think
I'm sorry.
I think it is extremely fair for Tobes or anyone to say that Robert Sanchez is a better keeper than David Raya.
And I think after today's performance, it's pretty clear to see that David Raya is clear. I mean, clear of Robert, Bob, whatever you want to call him, Sanchez. He is not in the same stratosphere. Robert Sanchez is clumsy. Robert Sanchez gives the ball away every 2 seconds. And Robert Sanchez has no commanding of his box. Robert Sanchez is nowhere near the level of David Raya. And that is the first thing I want to mention. You guys, before the game, you think I forgot? You think I forgot the stuff that I was hearing? All these nonsensical combined 11s where David Raya was in it? What are we doing? What were you guys thinking? What were you guys thinking trying to sit here and say Robert Sanchez is better than David Raya? David Raya today is the reason why we won that game. David Raya today is the reason why we came out of this game with all 3 points. Robert Sanchez is one of the reasons why you guys conceded and were looking so shocking to start the game. Today, Chelsea fans probably realize after this performance today that the player that's going to cost them going forward is Robert Sanchez. It was probably an eye-opener for the ownership of Chelsea Football Club that Robert Sanchez is not good enough. And we probably did the Chelsea fans a service today, exposing their goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez, and the shocker, the absolute embarrassment that he was to start the game. But you know what? Enough about Robert Sanchez. Let's keep it moving. We got to talk about other things. We got to talk about the set pieces. Today, I was nervous. Today, I was a little bit scared. Chelsea set pieces, they were good at set pieces. I'll give it to Chelsea. Chelsea were really good at their set pieces, but you know what? We're pretty good at set pieces also. William Saliba scores from a set piece, from a wonderful delivery from the corner spot. Gabriel heads it down to Saliba, and Saliba gets it onto Sarr, and Sarr touches it in eventually. But it counts as a Saliba goal because it was on target. So fair play to Saliba, get himself on the goal sheet. Now that means every single Arsenal outfield player has now scored a goal. Hey! Every single Arsenal outfield player has now scored a goal this season, with William Saliba being the last one to score that goal. And then when Chelsea scored their goal from a set piece, of course, it kind of hurt. You know why? Usually we're the ones getting own goals from set pieces. Usually we're the ones that are scoring goals from set pieces. Usually we're the ones that are making opponents a little nervous from set pieces. But today, a little bit of our own tactics came against us. I'll give it up to Chelsea. A little bit of their own tactics went against them. But before we go any further, there's people talking about potential penalty from Declan Rice. If I'm mistaken, I have seen many, many times where players are tussling in the box and it's not given. I've seen many times where players have their arm all around the defender at set pieces and it's not given. I've seen Gabriel numerous times get bear hugged by, for example, Manchester United's Lisandro Martinez literally bear hugging Gabriel in the box, not given. So I'm not going to sit here saying Chelsea should have been given a penalty, but guess what? Regardless, they scored from the following play. And fair play to Raya because he stayed solid in the moments where other goalkeepers probably would have conceded a silly goal. But yeah, let me just show you guys what I'm talking about because I was seeing two incidents where they're saying Chelsea should have been given a penalty. The first one, I don't think it's a penalty simply because number one, they're both tussling for the ball. He's not looking anywhere near it, and it hits the part of his arm where he right there. You can't even see where it hits his arm because this is a pause. I don't know if that's contact directly there or not, but regardless, the ball does then go on to if you look at the next phase, if you look where the ball ends up going, Raya is here, and Raya ends up tipping this over the bar, and then they end up scoring from the next penalty. They scored. Hincapie scored an own goal. It is what it is. These things happen. But the one that Chelsea fans are really, really, really complaining about is this one here. In case you don't know, in this situation, João Pedro is trying to go for the ball after Raya has already punched it, and he jumps straight into Raya's hands. Raya did not punch him in the face. Raya's hands were already there. João Pedro jumps into it. So whatever you guys want to say, this is not a penalty either. Either way, if you guys are trying to get a penalty out of these calls, they're not happening. The reality of the situation is you got to play on, you got to toughen up, and your keeper was not pulling out saves like this. Your keeper was not out here pulling out saves like this. Your keeper was out here whinging and whining after we scored our goal. He was out there crying to the referee after we scored our goal. I seen him. Look, nobody's near him. Nobody's near your keeper. Nobody's near your keeper when he conceded the goal. But he was out here whinging, whining, crying, saying that somebody touched him when he just felt like a house of cards. But hey, enough about the set pieces. Those are how the goals went in today. The goals all came from set pieces. So fair play. All the goals coming from set pieces. The next thing that we need to talk about, of course, the final thing that we need to talk about is the red card for Chelsea. Before we get into individual performances and talk about individual players, we got to talk about the red card for Chelsea. I personally thought, you know what? You could have kept the game going. You could have kept the game flowing. You could have kept the game moving. But good job on Martinelli keeping the ball, pushing it forward, getting the ball away from Neto. Neto picks up the second yellow. I thought maybe if we kept the play going, we could have scored from it, but they stopped the game. Neto got the yellow card. And you know the funny thing is, from Chelsea's yellow card, the moment that they got the yellow card, I thought the game was done. But they continued to play well, and they continued to push on. And Chelsea looked like they were the ones pushing to get the goal late in the game, as we were just trying to hold up and shut up shop and try to keep the 2-1 lead. And Liam Rosenior's Chelsea definitely do have a discipline problem. What is that now? Their ninth yellow card or something? Sorry, ninth red card of the season. Ninth red card. I don't know exactly how many red cards they've received this season, Chelsea, but I know they've received at least. Last time I checked, they received 8. So yeah, I think they have 8 or 9. So they must 8 or 9. So this must be their 9th or 10th red card. I forget exactly off the top of my head, but I thought Neto. I didn't even realize Neto was on a yellow until after they gave the second yellow and it was a red and it was a sending off. I was like, why'd they stop the game so quickly? You should have just let us play on, and maybe we could have scored from it. But hey, fair play. Red card to Chelsea, and the game's done. That's now the second time this season Chelsea have gone down to 10 men against us. Of course, Caicedo at Stamford Bridge, and this game at the Emirates. And that makes it 4 games we played, 3 wins, 1 draw. But yeah, moving on to the final thing. What does this mean for the Premier League title race, ladies and gentlemen? What does this mean for our title race? What does this mean for our season? You know what this means for our season? We're back to 5 points ahead, and we play on Wednesday. Yes, we play on Wednesday. Manchester City also play Wednesday. So we are going to be playing at the exact same time as Manchester City. We're going to be playing away at Brighton, and they're going to be playing at home versus Nottingham Forest. So pressure's on both of us. The title race continues. These next couple of weeks are going to be very, very interesting. The following game week, we play 5:30 at the Emirates, and Manchester City play at 8 o'clock away at West Ham. So the next couple of game weeks are going to be coming thick and fast. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see. I think there's going to be a little bit of a break in between that, with Arsenal not playing Premier League games, but we're going to be playing an FA Cup game in between that with Mansfield. So we're going to have a little bit of a break from Premier League football this upcoming weekend. So we have midweek Premier League football, and then we have FA Cup, and then we have midweek Premier League football again. Midweek Champions League football, round of 16 versus Leverkusen, and then we're back. So we're not gonna have too many Premier League games over the next 2 weeks. We're gonna have a game on Wednesday, and then our following game is gonna be 10 days later against Everton. Crazy. So there's going to be a 10-day gap between Premier League games. So we're going to get to focus a little bit on the FA Cup and the League Cup, but massive pressure off our shoulders. We've gotten 2 big games off our back after dropping points to Wolves and Brentford. That is an important way to get yourself bounce back and get yourself in the right manner of things right now. And I'm very excited for the future. I'm hopeful that we can go and kick on from here. I'm hopeful that we can go and get all 3 points in our next couple games and just relax and chill and don't stress yourselves out, because I feel like we've been stressed out too much lately from this Arsenal team. Hopefully they don't stress us out anymore. We can just sit back, relax, and just pick up the 3 points versus Brighton. I'm not saying Brighton's going to be easy. There is no easy game for Arsenal. It's going to continue to be difficult for Arsenal, but we need to just keep winning these games. We cannot expect Man City to drop points, and if they do drop points, we just have to be happy. But at this moment in time, we cannot be the next team to drop points. It's basically a war of attrition to see who is the first person to buckle between us and Manchester City right now. Yes, we have a game in hand over them. Yes, it's currently 5 points. I'd rather have the points on the board rather than the game in hand. But as the season goes on and on and on, that game in hand could become even more in their favor if they end up beating us at their ground. So we need to make sure we continue to push on, continue to win our games. And the overall performance was not great today. I'll be real. If I'm going to give my player ratings, which I'm going to do right now, I'm looking at some of the performances from the players. I did not think it was the best of performances from everybody. There was individuals that could have done better. So let's just talk about some of the player ratings from today's game. David Raya, by the way, man of the match for me. If you want to give anybody else man of the match, you can let me know in the comments. But David Raya, for me, is the man of the match. If you want to give it to Timber, if you want to give it to the other goal scorer, Saliba, is up to you guys. But for me, man of the match is David Raya. The guy was outstanding today. He made 4 saves. He continuously was coming to claim crosses, coming to get recoveries, doing all those things. Sweeper keeping. He was all over the place. He made 4 recoveries. He made 1 ridiculous high claim. He punched the ball away a couple times. He even started us on the counter sometimes and it didn't work, but I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. If I'm actually 8, I'll give him a 9. We conceded 1 silly goal. I'll give him a 9. I'll give Timber 8.5. I thought Timber was solid today also. I'm going to give Saliba a 7.5. I thought, you know what? Yes, he scored the goal. I'll give him an 8. Gabriel did solid also. He set up the assist. I'll give him a 7.5. I thought Hincapié conceded the own goal. Outside of that, I thought he was solid. I'll give him a 6. Bring him down from his rating of he would have got at least 7.5 if it wasn't for the own goal. Zubamendi, sloppy, continuously putting us under pressure for no goddamn reason. He had a poor performance. I'm gonna give him a 6.5. I thought Declan Rice could have done better today. Overall, he got an assist at least for one of the goals, but regardless, his overall performance was just not at his best, in my opinion. Maybe he was injured, or maybe something was wrong with him, but he was sloppy, giving them corners when he could have just passed the ball back simply to Raya. I'll give him a 7.5. He could have been better. I didn't think Trossard was that good either. Trossard wasn't really doing well enough in the final third. He's usually a little bit more better at creating chances, better at getting a shot off. Really didn't have much going on for him the whole game. I'll get probably on the lower end. I'll give him a 6. Eze, another person, didn't really take his shots well. Whenever he did have the ball, he just needed to kick in and just lace it through and get the shot on target, but he kept trying to take a touch and losing the ball in and around the box. Same with Gyökeres, Trossard, Eze all get like 6s for me. They weren't even that good, maybe 5s actually, if you want to give them below Hincapié, because they weren't they weren't good at all. So I'll give them all 6s. Saka was probably our best attacker, and he was the one trying to get the ball past Heito, giving Heito a nightmare all day. At the end of the day, Saka didn't really end up getting an assist or anything, but he was still a big part of that attack, setting us up, getting us our chances that we were getting from that side. But it was unfortunate that none of our attackers came out of this game with a goal contribution. It was our defenders and our midfielders who held it down for us, with Gabriel getting an assist, Rice getting an assist, Saliba and Timber getting goals, and unfortunately Hincapié getting an own goal also. But yeah, talking about Chelsea were poor. What was Caicedo? Besides Caicedo and Reece James, I did not notice a single Chelsea player in a positive light. I thought all the Chelsea players were poor today, and I thought we made them look poor. So fair play to Mikel Arteta's tactics, and also the substitutions for Norgard, Martinelli, and Martinelli and Kai Havertz. It was nice to see Norgard come on and Declan Rice get some rest late in the game for once. And I hope he's not injured or anything. I hope that's not the case. Let me see. Rice injury. Anything on Rice's injury? Let's see. Any information on Rice injured? I don't see anything on Rice being injured. Maybe they spoke about it on the Arsenal website. Let me see if there's anything on the Arsenal website. I don't think there's anything on the Arsenal website about that either. But yeah, you know what? And then that's it really. That's it really. I'm not giving anybody else a rating. Let's be honest. Last person who gets a rating is probably Martinelli. I'll give him a 6. Didn't really do much. Got somebody sent off. Norgard was on for 20 minutes. Give him a solid 6. Same with Havertz. Just give these guys default 6s. And overall performance from us wasn't great. It wasn't poor. I don't want to give it a 7. I'll probably give the overall performance was a 6. Let's be honest. We could have done better. We could have done so much better in the final third. We were very wasteful in the final third. We need to be a little bit more clinical. We can't rely on just scoring set pieces in some of these games going forward. And yeah, Chelsea, we beat them again. We beat Chelsea again. Anyways, anything you guys got going on in the comment section, let me know what you guys are saying. David Raya saved the day. Rice just wanted a hug. Raya punched Joao Pedro. No, he didn't. Joao Pedro jumped into Raya as he was punching the ball away. Had nothing to do with him. Iga, let's go. Big up, legend. Shout out to my guy Alfred in the chat. I see you. Big up to you, bro. And then what do you call it? Sitting back 10 men at home. Scary Arsenal. We had the lead. We just need to see out the victory. I don't know what you're talking about. We got the 3 points. That's all that matters at the end of the day. Arsenal parked the bus against 10 men. Last time I checked, we won the game. That's all that matters. You guys can run your banter as much as you want. City bragging about their past. Look at Chelsea today. 115 charges. FC will be next. Joining Spurs. Can't wait for Pep to leave. Shout out to you. See you out. See out what? We won the game, did we not? Did we not win the game? I'm confused. Like, what are these guys on about? Anyways, pressure's back on Manchester City. Actually, pressure's basically on everybody. We're basically on everybody. We play Brighton next in the Premier League on midweek on Wednesday. We'll catch you guys then. For now, I'll leave you guys be. I'll be live later today. So I'll catch you guys then. For now, you already know what it is. Eagle Talks Football. We're out of here, people. Eagle Talks Football. We'll catch you on the next video. Love for the love. Peace.